Hello, we are live now. I hope our friends are joining us for a chat this evening. This is quite an abrupt line tonight. Hello, welcome to Francis Page Media, my dear friends, wherever you're watching us from. How have you all been keeping? Francis Page Media, where you always come to catch up with the latest that is going on in the world of our British royals. Let me know in the comments section if the sound is all good. Hi Raven, how are you? Where are you spending your weekend? Raven, is everything okay? Thank you so much for being the first one on here. It is a bit of an abrupt live stream, but I thought why not come on to talk about those trending royal news stories out there this week. And it's the weekend, so why not? Why not? How are you, my dear friend? Thank you so much for always catching up with these royal news stories. Yes, sound is all good. We are good to go. Apologies if I can't respond to your comments on the screen. It's because I'm sort of doing this live via the mobile app. So there isn't so much allowances there for me to tap a message and respond to it. But hi, Lisa. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, so we are here to sort of catch up with what has been going on in the world of our British royals. It has been a while since I stepped on here to do a live. It has been very busy recently. But I say to myself, why not touch base with our friends out there? How are you guys finding those trending royal news stories? Any story in particular that has caught your interest recently? Please share that with us in the comments section below here. And I hope you all have a cup of tea with you. Grab one if you haven't, because we are going to have a bit of a good laugh this afternoon. Evening here. It is around night time coming to 20 to 11, so I'm gonna be on for maybe a good half hour or 40 minutes. Let's see how things go. But grab yourselves a cup of tea. Let us chat away. Yes, so first, where should we start from? So Prince William and wife Catherine missed the BAFTAs awards recently. Royal fans really missed seeing Catherine and William out for the BAFTAs. We know how much they spice up that event. They turn up looking glamorous. Prince William with his suits and tuxedo, and Catherine, Princess of Wales, with her magical dresses. This time round, there wasn't any Prince William and Catherine for the BAFTAs. People say the BAFTAs were boring, but yes, a BAFTAs without William and Catherine is always going to be boring. Prince William is the patron for the BAFTAs. He never misses those events every year, apart from the last two. I think when, of course, one was in COVID, and I think the other one, the wife, Catherine, Princess of Wales, wasn't feeling well, as we know, and the king as well had been diagnosed, so he missed the BAFTAs on that occasion. Hi, Aspi, thank you so much for joining us. And most recently, they missed the BAFTAs awards. Those were held last Sunday, yes. But it so happened that the two royal sweethearts had traveled to somewhere in Caribbean islands on a family holiday. What was the name of that island? Let's say it's called the Tusky, the Mustek Island. Mystic Island. Apparently, William and Catherine and their family went and spent some downtime in the Caribbean islands. Royals like to go on holiday in the Caribbean islands because it's very hot there, and a bit of that escape from the cold here in the UK is always well deserving of, because they work extremely hard. So it was a sort of a getaway time for the family. But also, let's not forget that the kids are on half term here in the United Kingdom. And as we know, Prince William and wife Catherine always put their family first. This is a classic example of Prince William and Catherine, who threw away all the glory and glamour of the BAFTAs and preferred to take the kids away on holiday because the kids need to have that getaway. They rarely get it, by the way. So yes, that is why Catherine and Princess of Wales missed the awards for this year. Okay, and I think they coincided because I think holidays tend to be on different dates here in the UK. So this must have coincided with the half-term holidays. And as we know, William and Catherine, they preferred to take their family on holiday. But wouldn't you, if you were in Catherine and William's, shoes, I definitely think you would have chosen to take the kids away on holidays, because kids here in the UK, when they go back to school, there is a tendency of teachers asking little ones, where have you been on holiday? What have you done? Have you had a lovely time out? And can you imagine all the kids talking about going on holidays, Spain, all these places, and William and Catherine's children looking and with no place to say that they went, or with no anything interesting to talk about as something they spent over the holidays. So again, this was a Prince William and Catherine who were not selfish, okay? They were not selfish because, let's face it, when they step out on these glamorous events like the BAFTAs, it means leaving the kids at home with the nannies and all of that. And the kids are never gonna understand that this is dad and mom's work because they are still young, okay? But what they will remember most is having taken somewhere on holiday. And these years that Prince William and Catherine's children are in right now, very, very crucial ages where they need to be doing something memorable, something that they will always live to tell about their parents. We went here, we visited this, because when kids grow up, you will find that some will not be even interested with going out with mom and dad, or they will feel a bit, like when they get to those teenage years, they will start to want their own time. So we have George, who is fastly growing as we see. Charlotte is also coming through the ranks. So this is the perfect time for Prince William and Catherine to take those kids on getaways, because time will come when they won't be able to do that. So yes, that is why we didn't see William and Catherine for the BAFTAs this year. It so happened, allegedly, they had flown out on a family holiday in the Caribbean. Right, a lot of kids in the US are off school this week. Okay, so these holidays tend to coincide, don't they, Aspi? Aspi is in New York. How is New York, Aspe? Um, is it cold this time round? Because I know your weather is kind of bipolar, just like the weather we have here in the UK, always changing. Hi, Retroactive Jealousy. That's Maki and Gwendoline. Hi, good to see you. Deborah, thank you so much. Toshi, thank you so much, guys, for joining in. It's always an honor having all of you on these live streams as we just sit down to have a chat about what is generally going on in the world of our British royals. So Aspi says it's very cold right now. Surprisingly, here in the UK, the weather hasn't been that bad recently. To be honest, we can't complain because we have some terrible month. February usually is actually cold round about the back end of it, but this year round I think we have had a terrific sort of winter, not so bad. Yeah, but thank you guys for catching up with this Royal News Live story. Yeah, so William and Catherine are set to step out on Wednesday next week. Is that 28th? 28th, yes. They are meant to, is it 28th or 27th? Wednesday. They're meant to step out. They are going to Wales, and they will be spending 3 days up in Wales. They usually go down to Wales around this time of the year because I think March the 1st, Wales will be celebrating St. David's Day. And we know William and Catherine being the Prince and Princess of Wales, they always love to be part of the St. David's celebrations up in Wales. So they will be traveling up there for a few days next week, from Wednesday round up to the 1st, 2nd of March. So it is going to be a very packed schedule for the Prince and Princess of Wales. And we see why they indeed needed that getaway to the Caribbean island, because they were coming back straight into royal duties. Hi, Sheila Kelly. Thank you so much for joining in. You've got the A team in here. Lovely to always see you. Lisa, did I miss that? Lisa says, when I lived in the Midwest, having a week in Miami really helped get through the cold winter. Yes, because Miami is hot all year round, is it? I think, isn't it? I would love to visit all these places because somebody was telling me that in life, if you haven't traveled to some of these beautiful places in the US, you haven't seen the world. And I always believe in that. So hey ho, one day, whether I'll be visiting you, Aspe, in New York, or Lisa or Sheila, it is one of those things I would love to do, to visit the US and get to see some of these good places. Aspe said, I think it's Mustach. Yes, it is indeed. That's where William and Catherine spent those first few days of the half-term holidays. Oti, hi Oti1, thank you so much for joining us. Hi Spectre, thank you for joining us. I'm really thrilled to see all of you on this live stream, especially this time of the night. I usually hold these around 9 o'clock, so today I thought, okay. But it's great to see all of you here. So William and Catherine will be visiting Wales. So if you have a friend in Wales, or you will be in Wales next week, just look out for our dear William and Catherine, who will be up there to celebrate St. David's Day together with the Welsh, of course, as the Prince and Princess of Wales. So that is what has been going on really here. King Charles stepped out with Camilla the other day as well. and they went and visited um, Imperial College in London. This is a university, fabulous university. And Catherine, Princess of Wales, has visited the same university, I think, early last year to promote her early years project. So she went and met with professors there to talk about the first 5 years in young people's lives and how those are very important in their development. But this time around, we had King Charles visit Imperial College London. So this university is no visitor to royals, and it's very prestigious. I think Catherine, Princess of Wales, is the patron. We'll find out of the university, so you can see that it is well within the royal circles. This university is, but King Charles visited Imperial College, London, and he was taken around the injury. You see, the injuries theater. This is where they do all the operations on those who are injured, whether civilians who get caught up in accidents or army personnel who get injured in war-torn areas, and some of these people serving abroad who get caught up in war somehow are brought back in this sort of theater where surgeons then operate on them. So King Charles visited this section here and was talking to surgeons and getting to understand the work they are doing in helping people to recover from injuries. And I heard that that visit was a way of showing support for the Ukrainian war, people who are in Ukraine, and King Charles was visit to this theater was a way of sending a message that he's very much sympathizing with these victims, and a message that any support that we can gather for people in Ukraine, he's very much willing to line up behind that as well. So it was a good visit from the king. Some of these visits are not so publicized. I don't think they get the publicity that they deserve. But we know that every time royals step out on engagements like this, they are spreading a lot of awareness out there. And so while he was visiting, of course, we had these European Union leaders meeting in France again to talk about the future of Ukraine. And so the visit for the king here coincided with the meetings that were going on in France. So it was a theme that was well within the royals, calendar. So again, if you missed that visit, King Charles, head over to the royal family channel. The royal family have a YouTube channel here, right? If you haven't seen that, they have a channel. I'm not talking about the royal family channel, but there is actually the actual YouTube channel for the royal family, and they tend to post some of these events sporadically. So head over there and catch up with some of the stories and see where the royals, the king, Queen Camilla, have been up to recently. Okay, so free speech. Hello, thank you so much for seeing you again on this free speech. Always an honor to see you. Did I miss any questions? Spectre says, Francis, where is your plaque from YouTube? It's coming very, very soon. I didn't know I had to reach out and request for it, apparently, but I did that. And so I'm having all the address and everything verified before they send it to me. But once it arrives again, I will be here singing and dancing, opening it up in front of you. Thank you so much, Spectre, for asking. Yes, but it is on its way. It's very, very overdue because my channel had some issues to start with in the past. And I think there is this video of mine I shared from my TikTok account onto my YouTube shorts, and then that video was picked up as reused content, my own video from TikTok to my YouTube, and was picked up as reused content. And they say that if you have one of those little marks like reused content, if you've ever caught for that, that slows down the process of getting this plaque. But things are being resolved, and it will be with me very, very soon. Thank you so much, Spectre, for asking. Aspi says the talk in the US is Prince Harry's visa records with some reductions will be released on March 6th. Yes, it is, isn't it, Aspi? Because I was reading around recently that that charity which was pushing for Prince Harry's and visa records to be revealed, the findings from court to be revealed, has apparently again resurrected the case, and they want those records come to the public again, because we know Biden's government had chosen to seal those records, but apparently recently the case has been resurrected, and I think Donald Trump apparently is set to give a go-ahead for that case to be revisited. Now that is going to be interesting, because if they find out, or if the findings in that earlier case were pointing to a Harry who entered the United States with lies on that visa application form, it means that he will have to be kicked out. He will, but okay, but we know Donald Trump obviously is not the president who will say yes, kick him out. So they might find a middle ground somewhere, but I don't think it's going to be get out now, because Donald Trump really respects the royal family, and I don't think he will humiliate Prince Harry in such a way. However, it will be so embarrassing, very embarrassing, and if those details come to light, that is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's brand going to be further damaged, and of course that reputation which has since been lost will even be lost even more. So either way, it isn't going to be good news for them. Spectre said, make sure you display it. Well done. Thank you so much. I will indeed. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Becky Lee, hi Francis and everyone. Hi Becky, thank you so much, Becky. Becky's in Canada. How are things going in Canada? How is everyone? Canada has had some hostile weather recently. I hope you're keeping safe, Becky, wherever you are. Now I remember Becky's in Canada because she's one of those I sent a little package for the Christmas. Is that so, Becky? You received it? I know it should have arrived quite late because you had issues with your Royal Mail in Canada, didn't you? Spectre says Henry's records may be released, will be interesting. However, if it's readable, though, yeah, it's true. It could have even been sabotaged in some way. And who knows behind the scenes what Harry and Meghan are trying to do to ensure that those records, once released, we'll at least have a few other things covered up and unclear, exactly like you have said. Lisa Musk is running around with a golden chain, so it made me laugh. It was the Heritage Foundation, that's it, that sued. For the records, it's Homeland Security that makes the final decision for deportation. Well, we've got it from Aspi there, straight on from New York. Aspi, thank you for clarifying that it was Heritage. Yes, they have really stood their ground, this Heritage Foundation, haven't they? Because they have been on this case ever since, those Prince Harry's recollections in his spare. He told us he smoked this, he did that, mushrooms, and we from reading around got to find out that if you have done stuff like that, anything to do with drugs, entry into United States for you will always be extremely difficult. So the questions have always been raised: how then did Prince Harry get himself into the US? Okay, if he had really disclosed all of that on that form. So they have a case to make here, and I think for the Heritage Foundation, they just want everybody to be treated equally the same. If others can't come to the United States because of their past, their history with drugs, why others can access US like Prince Harry? Why should they? So I think they make a good case here. Becky, it's cold and snowy Canada. I don't know how you Canadians put up with that cold, because here in the UK, 1, 2, 3 inches of snow and we are grounded. No work, train cancellations. Okay, employers send out messages and telling those who live far away that they will have some time off until the snow clears and all of that sort of thing. And you can imagine in Canada what you get is is huge compared to what we do here, and we still can't contend it. Trump will keep his hands clean, others have the authority to deport. You make a good point here, free speech. And I think we talked about this the other day, free speech, didn't we? That Donald Trump might not openly say get out, that his policies will be the ones that will kick Harry out of the US if he lied. And I'm sure all these other agencies within his government, if they are setting out to do their job, I'm sure he's the sort of guy who will let them do their job, because that's what he put them in those offices to do. Okay, carry out their duties duly. So this is why I'm saying it's tricky. And Harry and Meghan, if they are, I know they must have had a plan B somewhere, because we had the other day they bought this home in Portugal, and remember that home came to light around the same time this visa issue started flaring out. So that could be their plan B. And we heard prior to that Harry was seriously home hunting here in the UK. So I think they've made arrangements for what if. Okay. Yes, the Mail was on strike. Thanks, Becky. Sheila Kelly says, did Harry even fill out any papers? Somebody else probably filled them out for him, but but I believe he did, because they're talking about his visa application forms being looked at. The court sealed these documents away. So I think there was at least a document that was filled out somewhere somehow, whether by Prince Harry agents or, but I'm sure anybody who has a passport and is going to fly out should fill out at least a form of some sort. It is only the king and queen who don't have passports, so they okay, so those fly out, anywhere they want without passports. But all these other royals, Prince William, Catherine, Princess Anne, all of them have passports. And if you carry a passport, you have to go through the right procedures, fill out forms, get those securities done before you travel. And I think it's also to do with safety, because then you can be accounted for. Michelle says, Francis, you have the best love. I love it, love. From Henderson, Nevada. Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining us. How is Nevada? US is huge, huge. So it's got all these lovely places. So Nevada, is Nevada in... Nevada is the state. What is the capital of Nevada? Is that... my geography. I know Nevada is a state, isn't it? And then it has this capital which is very popular. Oh, Las Vegas? Is it Las Vegas? I think, yeah. Share with us in the comments. I think it's Las Vegas. Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those places I would love to visit as well, Nevada. And I was told Nevada is a desert. Is it a desert? But it's got some areas which are, I don't know. I need to read about some of these, the history of these states, because most of you on here are from the United States. Henry admitted to drug taking in a book and also in a session on YouTube. Spectre. Indeed, he did, didn't he? Because remember on that interview with... what was the name of that doctor? Gaba? Is it Dr. Gaba who diagnosed him live in an interview? Is it Dr. Gaba? Yes, yeah. And he says, he did all of those things. He wrote all of those things in his book. So he wasn't really smart, was he? Because if he knew he was going to travel, he probably started writing this book before, but he had already traveled, isn't he? So it's so surprising sometimes what Prince Harry does, not thinking through these things, because in this book he talks about Afghanistan and how he was able to count people that were shot down, that he shot down, and allegedly 25, did he say? And I'm here thinking, how do you even know? How do you know? Because I was in the army myself, but I can't even say such a thing because I don't even remember. Because so many of you. So how individually that these are my numbers? This who wasn't thinking through things. Spectre says, let's face it, Francis, we in the UK can get 4 seasons in the same day. That's why the majority of Brits are small. We avoid harsh winds by hiding behind tall tourists. You're right. Spectre, whereabouts in the UK do you live? Thank you so much for highlighting that. Lisa, so when William becomes king, will he surrender his passport? How does that work? Yes, indeed. I think it's an honor because the king is the one who issues passports out. So all the passports we have are from His Majesty or Her Majesty, Her Majesty's passports. So HMS, which is of course Her Majesty the King, whoever is on the throne at the time, is assumed as the superior, the overall power, and the issuer of these passports, so they can't issue one to themselves. So, so when William becomes king, yes, you're very right. He will not need a passport to travel out. He will keep his as a souvenir to show the places he's been to, but he won't need to have to present it each time he's going to be stepping out as the king. Yes, so that's a good question, Lisa. Thank you. Aspi says Harry's arrogance and stupidity put him in his position. He stated that the US First Amendment was bonkers as he talked about his drug taking in the horrible book spare. Exactly, and this really put him into trouble with the Americans, because most of them actually were not happy with how he looked down on these laws within the United States. Okay, and most of them were saying, look at this, Briton who is coming in here and looking down on our law. So that was lacking in respect, wasn't he? So he didn't really get on. He didn't arrive to the United States on that good mark. He didn't make it at all, and I think that was the beginning of him falling out with people in the United States. They've never bought into him. They've never bought into his wife, Meghan Markle. And I think we clearly see the struggle. When he released Spare, it sold in other places, but it failed to sell that much in United States because that trust had since been lost. And also, to add salt to injury, was that Oprah Winfrey interview, which made them infamous, as you can imagine. Lisa says, I've been in Vegas when it was over 100 degrees at midnight. It's very hot. It can be hot in Vegas, isn't it, Lisa? 100 degrees at midnight. But I'm wondering, how do you people survive in these extreme temperatures, whether it's cold or too hot? But here in UK, it gets to 20 degrees, 24, 5 degrees, and we sleep with windows open. It's literally burning. You hear it burning. But how do you survive out there? I suppose it's a different kind of heat that you get to ours. Spectre lives in Scotland. Yes, Scotland, very cold all year round, isn't it, Spectre? When I was in the army, I used to come to Scotland quite a lot because I used to train at Infantry Training Center in Catterick, which is on the borders of, England and Scotland. Autobahn, I think you know all of these places. Spectre, Autobahn, which is up there. Very, very cold, rainy all the time. Yes, if you want to have a taste of British cold and snows, head over to Scotland. Hi, Spectre. I will give you a wave when I come to Scotland soon. Becky, I've heard that King Charles is going to the USA maybe this year, if not next year. Yes, that is very much in plan. I was actually going to speak about it. Becky, thank you for bringing it here. I think William and Catherine were also on plan to come to the United States to promote the Catherine's early years childhood project, but also the Heads Together campaign, which is a mental health campaign, so that they actually registered a trademark for the Royal Foundation for the Prince and Princess of Wales in United States. And so there are plans for Prince William and Catherine to come to US. And the King, I think, will also be meeting Donald Trump And this is going to be his first time to travel there. As a king, to meet Donald Trump. But that royal rota hasn't been confirmed yet. But once it is out, I will shout it out here on the channel to you all, my dear friends. It would be great to see this royal visit. Every time they travel to United States, there is a lot of support that the Americans show to the royal family. And it really makes Meghan and Harry feel very jealous because they don't get they don't get that support, Meghan and Harry, each time they step out in some of those nearby cities, because the Americans don't want to know anything about Harry and Meghan. Okay, so thank you guys so much for continuing to show the king, our royal family, love every time they step out to the US. Spectre says, when William becomes king, having his face on our money will help make him recognizable. Yes, they do recognize him, and I think he will even become more. And the other thing is, of course, people are looking at Prince William and Catherine as the future of the British monarchy. So yes, this is going to be exciting news. All of us, young, old, can't wait for the moment William and Catherine will sit on that throne. We are so looking forward to that day. And every person who is still alive now is saying, right, give me some more time so I can see that happen. Free speech, air conditioning is essential. Windows closed when hot in Sydney. Free speech in Sydney. Hi. Free speech, are you closer to Catherine? I think you are. By the way, Catherine was meant to be with us yesterday, but she's still sorting out a few things. So I think they had some harsh winds, and these did not go well with her garden. She had some of her flowers ruined and garden trees, so she's doing a lot of work in her garden. So probably she's so tired by the end of the day's activities, so she will be with us here again very, very soon, probably this weekend, maybe Sunday. But yes, thank you so much for sharing that insight in. Aspi, we survive the heat with air conditioning. That air conditioning must be superb, really superb. Marilyn, air conditioning and staying in the lake. Hi, Marilyn. Thank you so much for joining us. I suppose Marilyn is in the US as well. Thank you for catching up with this live. Lisa says, the first year I moved into the desert area, I didn't think I was going to survive summer, but you are climate. Yeah, so you get used to it. Is that so, Lisa? You have to, because when I first came to the UK, my goodness, I remember going down to London just wearing my shirt and a little cardigan. And that day I still remember, because I was freezing. Everybody was looking at me, probably asking themselves, where is this man coming from? Where on earth can he walk down with just a cardigan in this freezing? But I'd just come to the country, I was used to the heat back home, and but that day is when I remember I suffered. I had to pop into a Primark. We have this high street cheap shop, so you go in and you pull up a jacket for £15, and you know, that was the savior on the day. Primark. I'm sure all my British friends on here will know Primark. It is quite popular here in the UK. I don't know if you have a Primark in Australia and US. Aspi, do you? Becky, do you have that in Canada? Yeah, free speech in Australia. Do you have Primark? So it's the savior here. You know, if you forget your jacket and you know, and you see it on the high street, knee pain and get a jacket or a sweater for a few pounds. Lisa says, the first year I moved into the desert, I didn't think I was going to survive summer, but your climate, yes, that's true. Here in Ottawa, it gets just as hot here as it gets cold, if that makes sense. It does. It does indeed, Becky. It's nice to have friends on here who come from all of these places because you sort of share insights about what's going on in those beautiful places you live. Hi, Max Brat. Thank you so much for joining us again. We have the A team on here tonight. So, yes, we are talking about those trending royal news stories that have captured everybody's attention. Now, so let's talk about, Aspi says Primark is here in the US. Yes, quite popular, isn't it? No Primark, you'd run in case for quick, cheap clothes, free speech. That's in Australia. Okay. But I suppose Kmart is the Primark version in Australia, right? Right, so before we finish, let's talk new Meghan Markle brand name as ever. 'Cause that name has caused a lot of controversy. Meghan Markle goes away after how many years? After a year? Okay, so 2024, because that's what is written under his brand name, established 2024. So a full year of searching about what name to come up for her business. We remember very well she was rejected for a trademark with American Riviera Orchard. That didn't go well because she was trying to steal this name that belonged to Santa Barbara. This is how Santa Barbara is known as. So she wanted to take that and make it her own and make it her brand name. Okay? Easy life. Meghan Markle is after easy life. She wants things that have already been established there. They are ready to go. So she comes and gets those and a bit of sugar and say, yay, this is mine now. But she was rejected for American Riviera Orchard. So she goes back to the drawing board to do another research. And then she somehow gets this name as ever. And it so turns out that as ever is even more problematic. It's becoming more problematic to her than American Riviera Orchard. Because first and foremost, the name already belongs to a small business in New York, Aspi. I think this has been talked about. In New York, you should know this small clothing business establishment that has used Azeva since 2015. Okay. So Meghan Markle claims Azeva is an original name, it's hers, and it has so many special attachments that name brings to her. But it doesn't stop at that. The design of the letters very much resemble an insignia for this small town in Spain. And the mayor of Spain and people in this locality of this small town are threatening to sue Meghan Markle for copying for copying their insignia. Okay, so I don't know what Meghan Markle. I really don't know why she doesn't look beyond, beyond just her forehead, to look ahead and see what is there before she takes these actions. Okay, so the research she was telling us that she did to get to land on this name does not seem like it was enough research, because really she would have easily found out that this name is already taken. Okay, she would have found out that this the writings and the format of her as ever resembles a crest, or there is a crest somewhere in Spain that looks exactly like what she wanted to come up with for her brand. She hasn't done any research. I think she just woke up in the morning and decided, I'm gonna use this. Now, someone was telling us that she probably knew that this name belonged to this small business in New York. However, it's a small business. They can't take her on. If they chose to take Meghan Markle to court, they wouldn't have the funds and the power to do it. So she just bulldozed over them and took over their name. But it's another big shame, and it shows to us here that this is a Meghan Markle who is never going to be moving forward in any meaningful way. So she went into this pigeonhole with American Riviera Orchard, okay? And we thought she had learned her lessons. She was going to come up with something better. She was going to, get a team and assign them a role of, doing research and coming up with a brand idea. But that hasn't happened. There is no lessons learned whatsoever. There's no taking over a device. How many times has Meghan Markle changed names? How many times has she rebranded? 3 times in the same year. She starts an Instagram account. Okay. And then 3 months later, she changes the name. So she had With Love from Meghan at some point. Okay. And she abandoned that, and then she picked up something new. Now, As Ever is here, and it's American Riviera Orchard. So 3 times. She seems to be running nowhere. Okay? She's just going round and round in circles. It's very interesting. What do you guys think about this As Ever thing? Aspi says, As Ever New York have sold out on their website. Yes, so she's actually marketed the other website. She should have reopened the TIG. Yes, she copied the brand name and copied the logo with unaged. Okay, I'm being blind. You're right, Spectre there. The other As Ever has gotten a lot of business. The TIG would have been better As Ever. Exactly. As it keeps her in the news and is attention for her. Becky Lee says the Sydney twins have sent out an offer to crowdfund for the major if she needs funds to sue M. That's good. That's really, really good. Lisa says the supposed storyboard is just a big mess to me. That her message is a big mess. Absolutely. Absolutely. She is a classic Meghan Markle that we all know. Okay. And who saw that video on Instagram of her trying to tell us about this special name which bears all of those things that Meghan Markle envisions? Well, if that is so, why didn't she then find that name? Why didn't she use that before American Riviera Orchard? Okay, she claims this has everything she needs. So lots of inconsistencies in her messages. And I think she just gets excited one day, you know, like you go to bed and you dream about something and you just wake up and want to make that thing happen there and then. Okay. And then I don't get the picture she used in the background of her and her daughter running in this field. It doesn't make sense to me. How can we relate that with Azeva? Okay, apart from the green fields in the background, you couldn't even tell if that was Meghan, if that was her daughter with her in the picture because it was so blurred. You know, everything that these two do are very unprofessionally done. And I think it is down to the fact that they refuse to take advice. They refuse to work with people who can advise them because they think they always know better. That's what it is. And people are just refusing to come on board as well because we know Meghan Markle was looking for a CEO for her strawberry jam thing, and while looking for a CEO for their Archwell Foundation, they were looking for a CEO for Invictus Games. They struggled, and Meghan Markle decided she's going to be the CEO of her own brand, and see where she's getting nowhere. But it's because people don't want to associate themselves with them because of the history of how they treat their workers, allegedly. Okay, thinking that they know better, they can't be advised. Lisa says, we don't even know if that was her daughter since no one ever seen those two. Absolutely, absolutely. Deborah, she may have known that as Eva New York and they did a collaboration with a company called Medwell that she gets her Bahama style hat from. So she knew some of this, but because she thinks she has the power to influence things and she can go behind the scenes and talk to people, and she thinks she can run over everybody. Now, this is a Meghan who likes to sue people for the smallest of things. Okay. But how will it look if people sue her? And I know that somewhere, somehow, she is going to get into trouble. She will be getting into trouble very, very soon. It is only time that is going to tell. Okay, Spectre says, what's weird about that picture and the girl running in the field is has both hands behind who runs. Exactly. Okay. So there's nothing of them is crystal clear. Everything you have to second guess what's going on. So they released this New Year's card at, the Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, the family, and then you could see this picture which looked like it was photoshopped on there, and we couldn't even tell if that was Lilibet, if that was Archie. So everything of theirs is always going to take a lot of second guessing, and this is a big problem. If you want to build credibility, if you want to earn yourself some form of reputation, you have to be transparent in these things. People have to be able to relate with you, and people haven't done so, and they are struggling to relate with this Meghan and Harry brand. So it is only time that is going to tell. So in that video, she tells us that, I'm proud to be partnering with Netflix, and we're gonna get things bigger, bolder, and better. But allegedly, it's not a partnership per se, but it's Netflix slowly starting to reclaim these things and take it back. So these ideas, so these projects were given to them by Netflix, but they haven't performed to the expectations. of Netflix. So I can see a Netflix that is slowly going to phase them out. Okay, so Meghan starts these Instagram, accounts, and she's now 1.9 million. Okay, but you look at what she's posting on her Instagram that is meaningful, and you can't see it. There's no product, there is nothing of substance on there, and you wonder what is that account there for. When you look at the Royal Foundation for the Prince and Princess of Wales, okay, you see a lot of activities going on. So Catherine is traveling to, these early years centers, visiting universities, meeting specialists, and talking to researchers. You see something that is going on. You see some projects that are in action. You see Prince William is here. You see the Earthshot projects. You see all of these things being done. And you see the level of awareness they are creating. And this is good stuff. Great stuff indeed. And then you look at Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and you look at their platforms. It's a real struggle to find meaningful work that they are doing on their pages. Big struggle. And you wonder, what are they standing for? What is their brand all about? So we have Archwell Foundation, we have American Riviera Orchard. Now here is Meghan Markle talking about her cooking show, and now As Ever. And so what are all of these things all about? What are they even promoting? Huh? So it is. Hi, Promise. Is this live? Indeed, it is. Hi, thank you so much for catching up with this live stream, Promise. It's been a while. I've seen you. I used to see your videos pop up in my feeds, Promise, but these days I haven't seen any recently. I think this is a YouTube sort of algorithm thing. And Spectre says Netflix aren't Meghan's partners, they are her boss. Another mixed pick. Yeah, by Meghan, we used to call that lying indeed. Raven, it's a mess for sure. Lisa, I just can't see Netflix secure selling something with this tail date. I think they wanted it to be more like an adult Disney store. Meghan is a mess. Promise. I haven't made any videos so long. We are so busy. We got married. Hey, congratulations. And expecting our first baby boy. We are over the moon. Oh, congratulations. Let's toss a cup of tea for Promise Rhodes there. My dear friends, please join me in congratulating Promise Rhodes on her recent marriage. And they are expecting their baby. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Congratulations, my dear friend. Thank you so much for sharing this incredible news with us here. Deborah says Beckley, as ever, has gained a lot of new followers. Most of their products have sold out. Yes, so she has even marketed this small business, without even noticing. She has. And so this is a real big problem for Meghan Markle. So she's going to do these things thinking that she's actually going nowhere, but I mean, she's going somewhere, but actually she's helping others to move forward. Congratulations indeed. Congratulations, Ray. I was wondering, where has Promise gone? It's been a while I saw your videos pop up. So there is a lot of exciting things that have been happening for you. Congratulations to you and your dear husband. So yes, my dear friends, it is such a shame what is going on with Meghan Markle, Prince Harry. They had so much potential to do great things had they stayed in the royal family, but they were very impatient. They were very, greedy for money. They thought they would go out there and make much more money than the royal family was offering them. Um, when you work for the royal family, you are working for people, for communities. You're not even expecting any payments, okay? You just serve the communities because that's what royals do. So Meghan and Harry never wanted that. They were money minded, let's say. So, they go away. You could see that when Prince Harry was excited on that plane from Frogmore Cottage to the airport. He says, all right. So they thought they were in prison by being in the royal family. They thought it was some sort of jail to them, because then why would Prince Harry say freedom flag? But it hasn't really been freedom, because we have seen since they left, they are on a roller coaster, aren't they? Things are not working out as they thought they would. And they left when they were not ready at all. Prince Harry was still learning. Everything was done for him. Meghan Markle had just arrived. So they threw away that opportunity of, doing great things for communities out there. And they left, and they're struggling now. In the royal family, there is this machinery that does things for royals. It's very organized. Everything goes as per diary, well scheduled. Everything is put in place, right from the outfits to the security to where they are going. Everything is organized. So they had an easy life when they were in the royal family, but they couldn't perform with even that easy life that was everything was done for them. And you expected them to perform out there where you have to fight tooth and neck, fight your way out and put all these plans forward for themselves. I didn't see them succeeding. And this is what we are seeing right now. A couple that is struggling even with the simplest of things. Even something as simple as coming up with a substantive brand name. Archwell Foundation alone, that name, people can't relate with it at all. Archwell Foundation. If you're going to come up with an establishment or a brand, okay, think about people you're going to serve, okay, and create a brand image which is going to be an all-encompassing. But you come up with Archwell because you have your firstborn called Archie, and okay, very self-serving. And you wonder why for these two moving forward has been a challenge ever since they left. Ah, dear. Becky say, hey, Harry sure got to wake up to reality when he left. He did, indeed. Sheila Kelly, I fully agree. Both Harry and Meghan could have done great things, but they agreed. Absolutely. Meghan wanted charities to pay for any work she done for them. This goes against what the royal family does. Absolutely. How she convinced Harry that she was on the same level as him is beyond me. That is something we all can't contemplate up to now. Okay. And she thought there would be instant superstars in Hollywood. It hasn't been an easy journey, and you can see how super stressed they are. Looking at Meghan's appearance alone, it's very telling of someone who has run out of ideas and is crying out for help. Help me. Okay. You could see that these two have run out of ideas, and the problem they made when they left was to build their brand on this Crimea River sort of concept. Okay, always playing victimhood. Okay, they did this to us, they did that to us, so they never allowed us to do this. Now, when they changed from that, clearly you see that there is nothing left in them for them to talk about, and people can't buy into any of their narratives, so they are struggling. They are really struggling. This is what happens when you build a brand on lies, because you can only go that far. So it is a very, very big lesson here for Harry and Meghan. But whether they will learn is the other question. They are so much into, I don't know, they can't look far. They are always looking here. Okay? Both need help, okay, with the coats, with buttons up. They do. They do indeed. And when we talk about these things, when we call them out, it's a note that we don't like these people. We just want the best for them, but they are not taking this criticism as constructive. What they are looking at us as is people who are hating them, or people who are... Meghan Markle last time went online. I think she was talking to school kids and was saying how she was the most hated person online. So with this mindset, really, it shows how they are never going to change, because she's not looking into this constructive criticism and trying to change. They talk about how she dresses inappropriately, stepping out on functions, wearing shorts, marching in front of the wounded soldiers. For example, we saw her for the Invictus Games the other day. They went to was it where did they go? And was it Bailey's? Where did they go? Nigeria. And where was that country? So they went to Nigeria, they went to another one. Remind me, my dear friends, what country was that? Was it not Mexico? There's a country they went to some time back, and the way they dressed, Meghan Markle especially, turning up with this sleeveless top with her back showing and barely nothing up here. She was talking to these young girls in a school. Colombia, that's the country. Thank you, Becky. Colombia. Okay. Thank you. And how they were dressed. And you thought, okay, she's going to be reading online and all these criticisms about her dressing, and you would think she would change for her next stepping out. Does she change? No. No. She doesn't. Okay. People talk about her stepping ahead of Prince Harry and hijacking all these events, wanting to give speeches and take hold of that mic when it's meant for other people. And they criticize her for that. What does she do? She fights for that mic on the next engagement. She takes center stage. She pushes Harry away, and she wants to be the man in the house. So clearly no lessons here. And tell me how such a person can move forward. No respect for anybody whatsoever. That's free speech. I 100% agree with you. I really do. So until she starts reading into this criticism as constructive, there won't be moving any forward in any meaningful ways. And for Harry, of course, he's already he's caught up in this Meghan Markle net. He's gonna live in it. He's got nowhere to run. These two made their bed. They're going to lie in it forever. I know there were talks of Prince Harry, Meghan Markle. Harry, is he coming back to royal life? Is trying to talk to friends to try and get him back into the royal family? Nonsense. I can't see that happening because the royal family has since moved on and they don't want any of that Meghan Markle, Prince Harry shenanigans. No chance. Free Speech says on the vision board, is she supposed to be having a wine with Diana? Strange photo there, isn't it? Anyway, my dear friends, I have been on for an hour or so, and it's about midnight. I think I've entertained you enough tonight. It's been great to see you on this live stream. Hi Lily, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you. You found us wrapping up. But yes, I'll be back on again soon this weekend. My channel was had issues with its monetization, and I lost most of the super thanks badges and all of that, but I'm getting back on the 9th of March, God willing. So again, you will see these changes and the memberships come back up again. I'm sorting a few issues behind the scenes. But please, again, I noticed some of our views are plummeting recently. I think it's because of the algorithms for YouTube. Just pop on if you haven't visited and watch some of those videos. Give us a comment in the comments section, and so that YouTube can get to sort of put our videos back into the algorithms, please. And remember to check if you're still subscribed, please, because YouTube has a way of unsubscribing people recently. If you haven't commented or watched any videos, YouTube has a way of unsubscribing. Catherine will be back soon. She has been sorting out a few things recently. I think Free Speech knows about the harsh winds in Australia the other day that destroyed most of her plants. So she's been sorting out her garden, but also she traveled. Yes, indeed, press the like button and subscribe. Yes, thank you for shouting that out, Spectre. Thank you. So she was traveling up and down as well, visiting a friend in South Wales, I think. But this weekend, we will be up again to catch up with you all. Take it to the heart. Hi, thank you. You've just joined us. And we haven't seen, which other friend of ours haven't we seen on here tonight? Is it Stedman? Yes, Stedman isn't here today. I think she's also busy with her ranch in Texas. But I love you all, my dear friends that have managed to catch up with this live. Let's catch up again. I think I'll come on Sunday or tomorrow if any big stories come up. But your support, your love, your kindness is always so well appreciated. Thank you so much, Deborah. And have a very wonderful rest of the evening, every single one of you. Truly, truly appreciate from the bottom of my heart. Good night, my dear friends. Let us catch up again very, very soon. Stedman is in Texas. So she's working on a ranch. I think and then she has one in Mexico as well. So she's been traveling between her ranches. So I think she must have been caught up somewhere and she hasn't made this live. But hey ho, we are on again this weekend. I'm going to be more regular now because I'm starting to get some time on my hands. Good night, everybody. Raven, Lisa, Promise Roads, again, congratulations for your marriage recently. Bye-bye, my dear friends. Love you all. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.